One of the main strategies to have your photos and footage found in between the millions of files on Shutterstock and the other microstock websites is writing the right metadata. Today I'm going to show you a few tips on how to do that in a decent way. If you are like me, you hardly find the time and the patience to write metadata as you should. The problem is, this is crucial information for your files to be found. So I decided to do another video to show you guys how I keyword my files and how I organize them. I already posted 2 other videos where I show my full income in 2017, as well as my best-selling files and how much I earned from each one of them and which agencies represented more of this income. So if you're new here, I would really appreciate your subscription. This helps me a lot and keeps me motivated to do this content and help other people to do this. The goal of this project is to have creative people find financial freedom so they can focus on what really matters to them. If you didn't start selling your pictures and footage yet, you can do it using this link. It's also on the description. You can subscribe now and start as soon as possible, and I hope I can help you on this journey. Before we head to the practical side of things, let's make it clear that this is just my way of keywording. I know there are many other techniques and ways of doing this. I mean, if there is enough interest on this, I can of course bring more content about this subject and explore other ways of doing this. Okay, so let's stop fooling around and let's go to my 7 steps to keyword stock photos and footage. Number 1, understand search engines. Unfortunately, there isn't so much content about Shutterstock search engine, so we don't have enough information to understand how their algorithm works and what is needed to have our file shown on the first page. What we know is that all search engines are growing smarter every day and they're trying to be more relevant as possible to the users. Google is the big standard for that, so I like to write my description and my keywords as if they were YouTube videos. What I understand as a secret is to write keywords that are really relevant to the user, to the searcher, and use them again on the description. Then search for synonyms and similar concepts and put them there as well. If you take a quick look at the best-selling files, you will notice most of them make use of almost all the tags they can. But take care on this and really avoid unrelated tags at all costs. Good search engines tend to restrain results that are not interesting to the searchers. Number 2, use Shutterstock keywords tool. I normally upload my files to other agencies as well, but Shutterstock is the place where I start. Their whole uploading system is one of my favorites, and they are the ones I believe are easier to start, and it really comes in handy when you're trying to find insights to write more detailed descriptions and tags. So let's take this Golden Gate Bridge picture for example. After I select it, I click on Keyword Suggestion tool. This will open a new tab on my browser, where I'll try to find images that are similar to my photo or video. I will do this by putting down a few words that describe my picture. Golden Gate Bridge, for example, is the subject of the photo, and Baker Beach is the place where I took it from. After I hit the search button, Shutterstock shows me a bunch of results and asks me to select 3 or more images similar to mine. I hit Get Keywords and these suggestions will come up. Now feel free to delete some words and add others. At this point, you might have had new ideas of what you could write, and you can do it here. I also believe it's a good idea to combine the words that don't make sense alone. San Francisco, Golden Gate are a few examples in this case. Keep all the words that you feel are relevant and take out all those which aren't connected. Once again, we don't know how their algorithm works, but if they're trying to get anywhere close to what Google is, then it might be a good idea to take unrelated words out. Once you finish, hit Copy to Clipboard, copy those words and close this tab. You can now paste these words on the keywords area. Hit Enter to apply them. 3. Express your feelings. If you ever worked at a production company or advertising agency, you will notice that microstock customers, they are not always sure of what they're looking for. So sometimes they're not going to search for something specific, but they're going to search for a concept. Let's take my Golden Gate Bridge picture for example. It's safe to say that this picture would work fine for a traveling agency. But the words Baker Beach or Golden Gate Bridge aren't the words that they're probably going to search for. Instead, they were going to search for travel, or maybe famous landscapes, or even touristic point. And that's what I mean with express your feelings. You have to go way beyond of just describing what's in your scene, what it's in your picture or your footage. But you have to bring the feelings that they're trying to express. So in this example, traveling, landscapes, famous touristic points, or vacations, holidays, these are words that will also work with this image. When I'm short of ideas, which is normal for me because I'm not a native English speaker, I use the keyword suggestion tool again. But this time I go with a different approach. I look for pictures that express the feeling of my file instead of a simple visual description. So adorable, cheerful, travel, relaxing, holiday, sustainable. I mean, these are all words that cannot be really expressed on image, but they are the feelings that you want to express. I hope I make myself clear. Number 4, write technical keywords. A big part of Shutterstock customers is made of professional designers, filmmakers, etc. This kind of users will be looking for specific and technical kind of files. They're the exact opposite of the last users I just told you. So it's a good idea to write a few keywords that describe in a technical way the file that you're uploading. Here are a few examples. You can describe your light, for example, daylight, night, outdoor, outside, evening, sunset. You can describe your angle, low angle, high angle, flat lay. You can describe your speed, long exposure, slow motion for footage, time-lapse, hyperlapse. You can describe the people, African, Caucasian, Asian, Latin, and even no people. Just don't lose all your space for keywords with these technical keywords, but the main points you can use there, like isolated. These are the kind of images that I see selling a lot. So really bring the ones that are true and not just put a lot of random keywords there. If you check my other video where I present my best-selling files, you will notice that some of them are very specific to the place where I live. And what I learned from it is that there are some opportunities around you that are very specific. But on these cases, you have to be also very specific on the keywords and the description you write. Don't be afraid to write the words just as they will be searched. In Brazil, for example, users will search for carnaval instead of carnival. Shutterstock will normally consider that as a mistake. When it happens, you can just click on top of the highlighted word and let Shutterstock know it wasn't a mistake. Number 6, write your description. Now that you got a lot of good keywords, you will also have a better view of which words will going to fit well on the description. Try to connect them in the best way you can, but don't really worry if you're making sense or if your grammar is right. Nobody's going to check that. Just try to use the essential keywords on the description, so the algorithm is able to understand how important these words are. Number 7, paste your work into a spreadsheet. And finally, before I submit my files to revision, I take all the descriptions, all the titles, and all the info I wrote and put them on a spreadsheet. This is going to help me in case these files are refused, so I have this information again, because if they are refused, you're going to lose all this information. So it's good to have a backup of them. And this also helps me when I submit these files on other microstock agencies. So I have all the descriptions, I have the keywords, there are just a few edges that you have to do to use the same information on the other websites. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I would really appreciate if you could subscribe and also watch the other videos on this channel. I'm sure the content that is about to come is going to be very useful for you. And let me know if there's any content that I should bring on the next videos. See you guys!